The first thing they told me was simple. Never enter room 217. Not during emergencies, not during power outages, not if someone inside asks for help. Especially if someone inside asks for help. The supervisor said it casually while showing me around the ward, like she was pointing out a broken vending machine. Maintenance issue, she said. Then why is there a security camera on the door? She stopped walking. For a moment, I thought she hadn't heard me. Then she continued down the hallway. Because people keep trying to go inside. That should have been enough warning. But nothing about St. Mercy Hospital felt normal after midnight. The daytime staff always left in a hurry. Nobody liked discussing the night shift. Nobody liked discussing room 217. And nobody liked discussing what happened to the previous monitor technician. The man whose job I had just taken. Officially, he quit. Unofficially, nobody seemed willing to explain. My station sat directly across from room 217. I had 6 monitors, a desk, a phone, and a perfect view of the hallway. The room itself looked ordinary. White door, small glass observation window, electronic lock, nothing special. Except the lock was installed on the outside. At 12:43 a.m., I noticed something strange. The room appeared occupied. According to the system, room 217 contained 1 patient, no name, no medical information, no admission date, just a blank file. I clicked through every record available. Nothing. It was as if the patient didn't exist. The camera feed showed only darkness beyond the door window. No bed, no equipment, no movement, just darkness. At exactly 1 a.m., the phone rang. Unknown extension. I answered. Static. Then a man whispered, "Is the door still locked?" I frowned.
"Who is this?"
Then, "Please tell me it's still locked." The line disconnected. I checked the caller ID, room 217. A chill ran through me. The room didn't even have a phone. I knew that because I'd checked earlier. At 1:18 a.m., someone knocked on the door. 3 slow taps. Not from outside, from inside. I stared at the monitor. The hallway remained empty. Tap, tap, tap. A nurse passing through the corridor froze instantly. She heard it too. She refused to look toward the room. Instead, she lowered her head and walked away faster. The knocking stopped. 5 minutes later, every light in the hallway flickered. Once, twice, 3 times. When they stabilized, room 217's door was slightly open, only a few inches. My stomach tightened. I knew it had been closed. I had been staring at it for hours. The lock indicator still showed green, unlocked. Nobody had approached it. Nobody had touched it. Yet now the door stood open. The darkness inside looked deeper than before. Not dark, deep. Like a tunnel, like a hole. I grabbed my flashlight and stood. Immediately, the desk phone rang again. The sound nearly made me jump. I answered. A woman was crying, not speaking, just crying. "Hello?" Her crying intensified. Then she whispered, "Don't let him know the door opened." The call ended. I slowly looked back toward room 217. The door was closed again, perfectly closed, like it had never moved. At 1:57 a.m., the security cameras failed. Every monitor went black. Every camera except one. Room 217.
The feed remained active. The door stood motionless. The hallway empty. Then someone walked into frame. A man in hospital scrubs, his back facing the camera. I recognized him instantly. The previous technician, the one who supposedly quit. He approached the door, stopped, then slowly turned toward the camera. His face was wrong.
Not injured, not bloody. Wrong. His smile stretched almost to his ears. His eyes looked empty, like photographs pasted into a face. He raised one finger, pointing directly at me. The room lights suddenly shut off. The entire ward dropped into darkness. Emergency lights activated seconds later. Red. Everything turned red. Every hallway, every doorway, every reflection. Then room 217 began rattling violently. The entire door shook. Metal screamed. Something slammed against the other side. Again, again, again. The electronic lock flashed rapidly. Locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked, locked. The phone rang. I answered instantly. A calm male voice said, "Whatever happens next, don't open the door." The line clicked dead. The shaking stopped. Silence returned. Then came the laughter. Soft, distant, inside the room. One person laughing, then two, then dozens. Men, women, children, all laughing together. The sound leaped through the cracks around the door, growing louder, closer. The security monitor flickered back on. For one frame, I saw inside the room. Hundreds of people standing shoulder to shoulder, all facing the door, all smiling. Then the image vanished. I couldn't breathe. The room wasn't large enough. There should have been a bed, medical equipment, walls. Instead, it looked endless, like a massive, dark chamber packed with people. At 2:46 a.m., someone appeared at the nurse station, an elderly doctor. I hadn't seen him before. He looked exhausted, terrified. He approached my desk. Without speaking, he handed me a file. Then he left. I opened it. The records were decades old. St. Mercy's Psychiatric Annex. Patient 217, male, age unknown. Diagnosis, unavailable. Recommendations: do not allow observation. Do not allow direct communication. Do not open containment door. The final page contained only one handwritten sentence. It wasn't locked to keep him inside. It was locked to keep everyone else out. The hallway lights exploded overhead. Glass rained onto the floor. The monitor alarms activated simultaneously. Every room, every patient, every ward. Screaming alerts across the hospital. Then, room 217's lock turned green. Unlocked. I stared. Nobody moved. No staff appeared, no security, nothing. The door slowly opened. A crack, then wider, then wider. Darkness spilled into the hallway, not physically, visually. Like the shadows were expanding, swallowing the floor, swallowing the walls. The temperature dropped instantly. My breath fogged. Then I heard footsteps, not coming out, going in. Dozens of footsteps, hundreds. People walking deeper into the room. I looked at the monitor. The hallway camera had returned. Every patient from every floor stood outside their rooms, motionless. Then, together, they started walking toward room 217. Some pulled IV poles, some limped.
Some were unconscious only minutes earlier. Now all of them moved toward the same destination. No panic, no hesitation.
Like sleepwalkers answering a call. I ran into the hallway. "Stop!" Nobody reacted. A woman passed beside me. Her eyes remained closed. An old man followed. Then a nurse. Then another. All heading toward the room. One by one they entered, disappearing into the darkness beyond the doorway. I never saw a single person come back out. The crowd continued for almost 10 minutes. Hundreds of people. Gone. The room accepted them all. Impossible. The space should have filled instantly. Yet the darkness remained endless, waiting, hungry. At 3:03 a.m., the movement stopped. The hallway became empty, silent, dead. Room 217 remained open. I stood alone. The phone rang one final time. I already knew who it was. I answered. The same male voice whispered, "You looked inside, didn't you?" I couldn't answer, because I had, for just a second, long enough. Far beyond the darkness, I thought I saw another hospital, another hallway, another version of this building stretching forever, and people, thousands of them, standing perfectly still, watching, waiting. The voice sighed. "Now it knows where you are." The line disconnected. The door slammed shut. The lock turned red. Locked. By morning, every missing patient had somehow returned to their rooms. Hospital administration claimed nothing unusual occurred. Security footage was gone. The doctor who gave me the file didn't exist in any employee records. Neither did the psychiatric annex. Officially, room 217 has always been an empty storage room. I quit 2 days later, moved across the country, changed jobs, changed apartments, changed everything. That was 11 months ago. Last night, I woke up at 3:03 a.m. My bedroom door was open. I know I closed it. Standing in the hallway was a man in hospital scrubs, smiling. The previous technician. Behind him, I could see another hallway, long, dark, full of people. And at the very end was a door, marked 217. My shift started at 11 p.m. By midnight, I had already heard the name 3 times. "Dr. Nathan Cole to intensive care. Dr. Nathan Cole to intensive care. Dr. Nathan Cole to intensive care." The announcement came through the hospital intercom every 45 minutes. Same voice, same calm tone, same request. At first, I didn't think much about it. Hospitals are strange places at night. Machines beep, phones ring, voices echo through empty corridors. You stop noticing most of it after a while. But around 1 a.m., I mentioned it to another nurse. "Who keeps paging Dr. Cole?" The color drained from her face. She immediately looked around to make sure nobody else was listening. Then she asked, "You heard it?" "Yeah." The nurse stared at me, then quietly said, "Don't answer if he arrives." I laughed. She didn't. That was the first moment I realized something was wrong. Around 1:40 a.m., I searched the employee database. No Dr. Nathan Cole. No active records. No retired records. Nothing. The hospital archives, however, had one result. Nathan Cole, cardiologist, deceased 18 years ago. Cause of death, cardiac arrest. Location, intensive care unit. I sat back in my chair.
The room suddenly felt colder. Then the overhead speaker activated again. "Dr. Nathan Cole to intensive care." Static crackled afterward. For a split second, I thought I heard something else buried underneath. A second voice, whispering. The message repeated, then silence returned. At 2:07 a.m., security called. A patient had wandered into the east hallway. An elderly woman suffering from dementia. Nothing unusual. I grabbed a wheelchair and headed down. The east hallway was rarely used at night. Half the rooms were empty. Most lights stayed dim. The place always felt disconnected from the rest of the hospital. As I turned the corner, I saw the patient. She stood motionless in the middle of the corridor,
facing room E19, a room currently under renovation. The woman never looked at me, never blinked. She just pointed toward the closed door. He finally came back. I slowly approached. Who did? The old woman smiled, a sad smile, almost relieved. The doctor. Then she whispered, "He found his patients." Before I could ask another question, every light in the hallway flickered. Once, twice, 3 times. When they stabilized, the woman was gone, completely gone. The wheelchair sat empty beside me. I still don't know how she moved that fast. I checked every nearby room, nothing, no sign of her, only silence. Then I heard footsteps, not ahead of me, behind me. Slow, measured, leather shoes against tile. I turned around. The hallway was empty. But room E19's door was now open, just slightly, enough to reveal darkness inside. A renovation room should have been full of equipment, plastic sheets, construction supplies. Instead, all I saw was darkness and a faint green glow somewhere deeper inside. The overhead speaker crackled. "Dr. Nathan Cole to intensive care." This time, the voice sounded closer, much closer. Like it wasn't coming through the intercom, like it was somewhere nearby. Then a second voice answered. "I know." The voice came from inside room E19. I ran. Not proud of it, but I ran, straight back to the nurse station. My heart wouldn't slow down. I told security everything. They checked the room immediately. Found nothing. No person, no equipment, nothing unusual. They laughed it off, said I was overtired. Maybe I wanted to believe them. For a while, I almost did. Then 3 a.m. arrived. Everything changed at 3 a.m. Every monitor in intensive care went offline simultaneously. Every single one. Alarms exploded throughout the ward. Patients flatlined across every screen. Nurses rushed in all directions. Doctors started shouting orders. Pure chaos. Then the monitors came back online. Every patient was fine. Heart rates normal, oxygen stable, everything normal. Except for one monitor. Bed 12. Occupied by a man named Victor Harris, 72 years old, recovering from surgery. His monitor displayed a message. Not vital signs. A message. Doctor has arrived. The screen changed before anyone else noticed. Back to normal. I thought maybe I imagined it. Then Victor sat upright in bed, his eyes wide open, staring directly at me, across the entire ward. He pointed behind me, slowly, trembling. I turned around. Standing at the entrance to intensive care was a doctor. Tall, thin, white coat, old-fashioned glasses. Everything about him looked outdated. Wrong decade, wrong era.
The badge hanging from his coat read, Nathan Cole. Nobody else reacted. Nurses walked past him. Doctors walked through him, literally through him, as if he wasn't there. But Victor could see him, and I could see him. The doctor smiled politely, then entered bed 12's room. The door closed.
Victor started screaming. Not pain. Terror. Absolute terror. Staff rushed inside. The room was empty. Victor gone. Completely gone. No blood, no struggle, no explanation. Just an empty hospital bed. The official report later called it documentation error. Victor Harris was never found. At 3:33 a.m., the pages became constant. Every minute, every speaker, every hallway. Dr. Nathan Cole to intensive care, again and again and again, until the entire hospital seemed filled with the announcement. Patients started waking up. Visitors started crying. Some people covered their ears. Others seemed unable to hear it at all. The strangest part? The voice was changing, growing weaker, more desperate. Less like a page, more like a plea. Then finally, Dr. Nathan Cole, please answer. The lights died. Total darkness. 5 seconds. 10. 15. Then emergency power activated. Red lights flooded the hospital. And suddenly, he was everywhere. At every intersection, every doorway, every hallway. The doctor, standing motionless, watching. Dozens of identical figures, all wearing the same white coat, all staring. Nobody else seemed to notice. Then every version of him turned toward the ICU simultaneously and began walking. The entire hospital echoed with footsteps. Thousands of footsteps, moving in perfect sync toward one destination. I followed. I don't know why. Maybe curiosity, maybe shock, maybe because some part of me knew this was what the pages had always been leading toward. The ICU doors stood open. Inside was a patient I had never seen before. A man lying alone in a bed, heart monitor disconnected. No chart, no wristband, no records. Nothing. The doctors surrounded him, hundreds of them. Identical, silent, watching. The man opened his eyes and smiled. Every version of Nathan Cole froze. The smile on the patient's face widened. Then he spoke. "You finally came back." The room instantly went dark. When the lights returned, everyone was gone. The bed was empty. The doctors gone. No sign they had ever been there. Only one thing remained. A patient chart lying on the floor. The admission date was 18 years old. The attending physician listed at the top was Dr. Nathan Cole. The patient name below it made my blood run cold. Because it wasn't Victor Harris. It wasn't anyone currently admitted. It was Nathan Cole himself. Diagnosis: death delayed. Condition: still waiting for discharge. I quit 2 weeks later. But sometimes, usually around 3:33 a.m., my phone rings. Unknown number. When I answer, I hear hospital intercom static. Then a familiar voice. Tired, desperate, repeating the same sentence every time. "Can you tell them I'm still here?" The first patient woke up screaming at 12:14 a.m. A teenage boy recovering from appendicitis. Nothing unusual. Nightmares happen.
I calmed him down, checked his vitals, and asked what happened. His face was pale. Sweat covered his forehead. For a moment, he seemed embarrassed. Then he quietly said, "There was a man standing beside my bed." I nodded. Hallucinations aren't uncommon after surgery. "What did he look like?" The boy hesitated, then pointed toward the hallway. "He looked like he was waiting for something." I wrote it down, checked his monitor, finished my rounds, and forgot about it. At least for a while. At 12:47 a.m., another patient woke up screaming. Different room, different floor. Middle-aged woman recovering from pneumonia. Same terror, same panic, same description. "There was a man beside my bed." I stopped writing. "What did he look like?" The woman frowned, like she was trying to remember details she never really saw. "I don't know," she shivered. "It was too dark." Then she added, "But he was smiling." By 1:30 a.m., 6 patients had reported the exact same nightmare. Every one of them described a man standing beside the bed, watching, waiting, smiling. The details varied slightly, but one thing remained identical. None of the patients remembered seeing his face, only his smile. At 1:58 a.m., I mentioned it to another nurse. Her reaction immediately bothered me, because she didn't look surprised. She looked worried. "How many?" she asked. "What? How many have seen him?" I stared. "What do you mean, him?" The nurse lowered her voice. "The smiling patient." I laughed. She didn't. "I've worked nights for 7 years," she said. "Every few months it starts again." The air suddenly felt colder. "What starts?" She looked toward the dark hallway, then quietly answered, "The dreams." At exactly 2 a.m., every patient monitor on the floor beeped simultaneously. One short tone. Then normal operation resumed. The nurse beside me immediately checked her watch. 2 a.m. Her face turned white. "We're late." Late for what? Instead of answering, she grabbed a clipboard and hurried away. I followed. We stopped outside room 204. The room was empty, had been empty all week. Nobody admitted, nobody scheduled, nothing. Yet she knocked anyway, 3 times, then waited. I felt ridiculous standing there, until something knocked back. 3 knocks, from inside. My stomach dropped. The nurse immediately walked away, fast, as if she expected it, as if she didn't want a response. I caught up to her. "What was that?" She refused to answer. At 2:17 a.m., the first patient disappeared. Room 219, the teenage boy. 1 minute he was asleep. The next minute his bed was empty. No alarm, no camera footage. No exit record. Gone. Security searched the building. Nothing. Then another patient vanished. Room 208. Then another. Room 226. No signs of struggle. No evidence. Just empty beds. The hospital entered full lockdown. Doors secured. Security deployed. Police notified. But the disappearances continued. At 2:46 a.m., I checked the cameras myself. Every hallway, every stairwell, every exit. Nothing unusual. Until I reviewed footage from room 204, the empty room, the one nobody used. At 2 a.m. exactly, the door opened. A man walked out, hospital gown, bare feet, thin frame, his face hidden from the camera. He slowly entered the hallway, then disappeared into a blind spot. My hands started shaking, because room 204 was empty. It had always been empty. I rewound the footage, watched again. Same thing. The man emerged from the room, then vanished. I enlarged the image, tried to identify him. The camera quality was terrible, but one detail remained visible: his smile.
At 3:03 a.m., every remaining patient woke up simultaneously. Every single one. The screams echoed throughout the hospital. Nurses rushed room to room. Doctors ran through hallways. Pure chaos. The patients all repeated the same sentence, word for word. We fell asleep. Then, he got closer. The oldest patient on the floor started crying, an 83-year-old woman. She grabbed my wrist hard enough to hurt. He sits beside the bed first. Her voice trembled. Then he stands closer every night. I stared. What are you talking about? The woman looked toward the doorway, then whispered, Tonight, he touched my hand. The lights flickered, once, twice, then died completely. Emergency power activated. Red lights flooded the ward. And suddenly, every room monitor displayed the same image. Not patient vitals, not camera feeds. A hospital room. Dark, silent. A single chair beside a bed. Someone sat in the chair, watching. The figure slowly stood up. Then the screens went black. People started screaming again because they could hear footsteps, slow footsteps, moving through the ward. Nobody could see who was making them, just the sound. Approaching, closer, closer, then stopping outside random rooms, waiting, moving again. The footsteps eventually reached room 204 and stopped. The hallway became silent, painfully silent. Then the room door opened. I watched from the nurse station. The darkness inside looked wrong, too deep, too thick, like a doorway leading somewhere else. Then someone stepped out. The missing teenage boy. Room 219. He walked slowly into the hallway, head lowered, expression blank. Relief washed over me. For about 2 seconds. Then he raised his head. His smile stretched impossibly wide. Security ran toward him. The boy pointed behind them. Everyone turned. Room 204 was no longer empty. Every missing patient stood inside, dozens of them, perfectly still. Watching, smiling. Then all the lights exploded, glass shattered, alarms screamed. The patients rushed forward, not running, walking, slowly, like they knew nobody could escape anyway. I ran, most of us did. The last thing I saw before reaching the stairwell was the boy from room 219, standing in the center of the hallway, smiling. And beside him stood another figure, taller, thinner, the man from the nightmares, the smiling patient. For the first time, I saw his face clearly. I wish I hadn't, because it wasn't a face. It looked like dozens of different faces pressed together. Patients, doctors, children, old people, all sharing the same impossible smile. The hospital closed that wing permanently after that night. Officially, it was electrical damage, structural concerns, renovation issues, the usual lies. But a few months later, I found something buried in old hospital records.
A patient admitted in 1961. No name, no family, no identification.
His room number? Diagnosis? Unknown. Final note written by the attending physician. Patient reports recurring dreams of standing beside people's beds. Below that, someone had added another note decades later. A different handwriting. Only one sentence. He finally learned how to wake up.